Chinese going bankrupt from stocks. Man left with only 336.
那个
Yuan
银
from
行啊，
600,000 yuan,
老子
the
告诉你，
CCP
你借贷
recently
款的时候，
encouraged
你怎么
people
不
to enter
拦
the
着点
stock market. After a brief rise, the mainland stock market plummeted on October 9th. The next day, Hunan Party media reported that a local man had been speculating in stocks for 8 years, and only more than 300 yuan remained of the original 600,000 yuan. Netizens speculated that the wind direction was about to change. On October 10th, the official media of Zhuzhou City, Hunan Province, Zhuzhou Evening News, reported that a man named Wei had been speculating in stocks since the market opened in 2016. At first, he was able to earn more than 20,000 yuan a month at most. But the good times didn't last long. He continued to lose money and lost a total of 550,000 yuan from 2016 to 2021. He even sold a commercial house of more than 110 square meters at a low price of over 300,000 yuan and invested in the stock market, but the situation did not improve. Even during this year's National Day holiday, he was still losing money. The report said he had been speculating in stocks for 8 years, and only 336 yuan of the 600,000 yuan principal was left. He said, "I invested all the money from selling my house and borrowed hundreds of thousands of yuan from the bank and almost lost all of it." This time, when the stock market rose, he invested all his assets of 15,600 yuan in cash, hoping to turn things around. Wei said that if you have never traded stocks, it's best not to enter the stock market. Trading stocks is not as simple as it seems, and it is very difficult to make money in the stock market. The report also said that in this stock market situation, most of the investors who open new accounts are young people, and those born in the 2000s and 1990s account for more than 70%. After the report was widely reprinted, it triggered heated discussions among netizens. The tone has changed again. It wasn't said like this during the National Day holiday. It wasn't even said like this in the morning. Yesterday, there was news that new stock investors made 30,000 in 3 days. Indeed, the tone has changed faster than the wind. The wind direction has shifted quite quickly, and now they're starting to persuade people to quit again? Some netizens criticized, before the holiday, a group of big Vs created momentum, and the leaks came in to take over, and they all withdrew. How many years have they been playing this routine? Big A is originally a gambling market, and only 1 in 10 people can make money. It's a different time now. You're tempted to buy at a high price and forced to sell at a low price. This is how leaks are harvested. Reminder, the next batch of leaks is not the country's concern. Mr. Wang from Hunan, who has been speculating in stocks for many years, told NTD that the CCP's stock market is a scam. Old stock investors like him have seen through the truth of the CCP's stock market and no longer believe in the CCP's lies. This time, they want to quickly get rid of the money trapped in the stock market. Most of those deceived this time are young people with no experience, and some even invested with loans. According to mainland media reports, many deceived young people took out loans from banks and invested in the stock market. Once the stock market collapses, it will bring huge pressure to the banking system. According to information circulating on the mainland internet, many young people are still investing in the stock market with the gambler's mentality of selling leaks from banks. After the stock market rose this time, some young people used consumer loans and small loans to invest in the stock market. Some young people even claimed, "We solemnly warn capital not to sell us because our money is all from credit cards and online loans. If they dare to sell us, we dare not pay it back. Let's see who is the leak." Recently, Guangdong Heiyuan Rural Commercial Bank, Fujian Mingxi Rural Credit Union, Fujian Songxi Rural Credit Union, and many other banks have reminded their customers that they must not illegally invest credit funds in the stock market. On October 8th, the Central Bank of China also issued a message requiring commercial banks to strictly prohibit credit funds from entering the stock market. International hedge funds rushed to sell Chinese stocks. CCP's new measures are said to be ineffective. Chinese stocks fell across the board on Wednesday. Not only did major shareholders of Chinese companies and investment institutions compete to reduce their holdings and cash out, but international hedge funds also sold Chinese stocks in large quantities. 2 well-known American think tanks recently jointly released a research report pointing out that China's economy has deviated from the norms of a market economy, and the latest measures introduced by Beijing are unlikely to effectively boost China's economy. According to Bloomberg, traders at the U.S. financial company Goldman Sachs Group Inc. reported on October 10th that at the press conference on October 8th, the National Development and Reform Commission of the Communist Party of China failed to meet the market's expectations for more large-scale stimulus measures, which greatly disappointed the market. International hedge funds then sold a record number of Chinese stocks. According to Goldman Sachs's report, 3/4 of the Chinese stocks sold by international hedge funds this time were A shares, with the rest being Hong Kong-listed stocks. The report stated, hedge funds not only unwound long positions, but also increased short positions, and the number of long sales was twice the number of short sales. Bloomberg reported that the hot money sell-off was in stark contrast to the previously optimistic view of the Chinese stock market. Now, traders are waiting for the fiscal policy conference planned by the Beijing authorities this Saturday. On Wednesday, October 9th, when the Chinese stock market fell across the board, the U.S. economic research company Rhodium Group and the Atlantic Council jointly released a research report. After 4 years of research on the Chinese economy, the two well-known American think tanks made their findings public. The report, titled End of the Line: The Cost of Faltering Reforms, compares China's market system with that of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD countries based on 6 indicators: financial system development, market competition, modern innovation system, trade openness, direct investment openness, and securities investment openness. The conclusion is that China's economy has deviated from the economic norms of open markets. The report said that in almost every area it tracked, China's reforms have stagnated and, in some cases, even regressed. Among them, direct investment and securities investment openness have consistently been the areas where China has the largest gap with other developed economies. The report pointed out that in China, systematic state intervention and opaque decision-making dominate, which is one of the sources of global economic risks. At the same time, the role of the Communist Party of China in the economy has suppressed the vitality of private enterprises and created a dangerous and uncertain environment for investors. At the report release conference held on October 9th, Michelle Caruso Cabrera, CEO of MCC Global Enterprises, discussed a series of major stimulus measures announced by the Beijing authorities just last week, including lowering bank reserve ratios, cutting mortgage rates, and reducing down payment ratios for home purchases. She admitted that it would be difficult to effectively boost the Chinese economy with these measures alone. Cabrera said, "You can say we will reduce the reserve ratio and make capital more abundant and cheaper. But if the people who allocate it or the institutions that allocate it are not good at allocation, such as state-owned enterprises, whose equity and asset returns are poor, then it will not be very effective." Hong Kong stocks plummeted. Jiangxi man stopped his car in the emergency lane of the highway to check. On October 8th, after 2 weeks of rising, Hong Kong stocks suddenly plummeted. A man in Jiangxi parked his car in the emergency lane of the highway without placing any warning signs. The traffic police used a drone to remind him 3 times, but there was no response. The man said he was obsessed with stock trading and took the risk of parking, which caused heated discussion. A video circulated on the internet showed that on a highway, many cars sped past, while a white car was stopped in the emergency lane. In the video, the traffic police can be heard through the drone shouting, "New energy vehicles, emergency lanes cannot be occupied, please leave quickly." The white car did not respond. The traffic police repeated the message 3 times, but the white car still did not respond. The traffic police rushed to the scene on a motorcycle and knocked on the driver's side window. The driver rolled down the window. The traffic police asked the driver why he stopped there, and the driver replied, "Stock trading." The traffic police said, "You haven't even turned on the hazard lights. Are you trading stocks on the highway?" The driver replied that the Hong Kong stock market was open, and he just wanted to check. The traffic police asked him for his ID, but the driver said, "I didn't bring my ID." The traffic police instructed him to exit the highway at the next exit and reminded him to leave, but the man did not respond. The man later explained, "I was too obsessed with stock trading at the time. Today the Hong Kong stock market was open, so I just needed to wait for a while. I took the risk and stopped in the emergency lane to check the stocks." Some netizens believe that the driver's actions were too dangerous and that he should be severely punished. Comments included, "This kind of person should be banned from driving for life. This isn't stock trading, this is preparing to change cars." The road is like his family's, and he didn't even turn on the hazard lights. Other netizens joked, "You want money but not life? The leaks are growing crazy. This is really crazy. Big-headed, stubborn, and the biggest madness is stock speculation. And the stock market is really risky. It almost caused an accident." This IQ is a bit redundant for stock speculation. Recently, the CCP invested huge sums of money, and the Chinese and Hong Kong stock markets soared. The CCP's propaganda machine started up, widely promoting the stock market as a way to make money and encouraging people to invest. However, on October 8th, Hong Kong stocks plummeted, with the Hang Seng Index dropping 9.41% and the Hang Seng Technology Index falling 12.82%. Some analysts pointed out that this was another round of CCP interest groups harvesting people's deposits. Surveys also show that the proportion of people willing to invest in the stock market is less than 30%, with most people not trusting the CCP's propaganda.